I'm not saying that just because you put on a dress in the morning and you cleaned your apartment, a masculine man is going to sprout out of your living room floor ready to marry you. But what I am saying is, as you hone in on these qualities over a long period of time, you'll become known for your femininity, and the masculine men will be able to see that reputation you have. They'll be able to sense it when they're talking to you, and you'll even be able to signal that during your first encounter or impression with a man. Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and I run the blog called Mrs. Midwest. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. And to all my new viewers, thank you for clicking on my face and welcome to one of the kindest communities you will ever find on YouTube. Oh, hi! We see, hello! Oh, hello! You brought a dirty basketball onto the bed. This is my dog. Hi. I live with my husband and dog in the Midwest, don't we? Yes. But today we are going to be talking about relationships and specifically how to attract a masculine man. Oh, baby. Hi. Nice. It's good. It's good girl. Right now, you closer. Come on, good girl. Come on, lay down. Okay, we are all settled now. Just in case you're unfamiliar with my channel, we do talk about femininity and traditional living quite often. I like to make content for women who are interested in living a feminine lifestyle, living a traditional lifestyle, and even living the lifestyle of a homemaker. But as I've said so many times before on my channel, you can't be a homemaker without a husband. And the type of men who are interested in having homemakers for wives or more traditional wives are masculine men on average. They might be traditional, conservative, or potentially even religious. I know we have a lot of people like that in our audience currently, so hello to all of you beautiful people, but I also want to add that I do think this video can be helpful for attracting men in general, whether or not they're traditional. So when we think of a masculine man, it's all about finding someone that you can respect, someone with drive, ambition, confidence, and someone willing to take on responsibility. Masculine men aren't just cowboys, military men, or CEOs. You can find them in any situation. Just like you can have feminine women in a variety of circumstances, situations, and careers in this world, so too can you find masculine men. So when we think about a masculine man, we're not going to be focusing on how we can change ourselves, alter our personality, or become a different person in order to attract these people. Because it's not good or right to have to change yourself to attract somebody. Because one day you're going to get sick of changing yourself and the relationship will fold in on itself. You're going to want to be with someone where it's compatible. And this isn't to say we shouldn't change and improve ourselves as we live life, but I don't believe you need to change your complete personality, interests, or alter the way you look so drastically that you're not even yourself anymore. Today is about being yourself, but enhancing qualities that will draw those masculine men to you. So of course the first part is going to be all about embracing your femininity. You knew that this would be the first one. The complementary element to masculinity is femininity. They are not opposites, they complement one another. So that masculine man is going to be looking for his feminine counterpart. This doesn't mean that you can't like camping, hiking, being outdoors, or working with your hands. It merely means enhancing the feminine qualities that go along with that masculine, ambitious, leader kind of personality. When attracting a masculine man, you can do this visually by looking more feminine, playing up your womanhood. Embrace your womanhood, embrace the beauty of your womanhood, and enhance those qualities visually. Try to take a gentler approach, a softer approach, and a kinder approach. Show your femininity by being helpful and nurturing to others. Showcase your femininity through your personality. No, this doesn't mean giggling like a little girl and being overly flirtatious. It means being self-possessed and confident. As I've spoken about so many times before, femininity is not about being overly girly. It's about showing your mature womanhood, your responsible confidence. And as you step into that as a woman, instead of coming across very girly and childish, you'll come across as confident confident, self-possessed, sensible, and nurturing. It's about becoming confident in your womanhood and embracing your womanhood instead of rejecting it or feeling ashamed about it. Beautify your space by keeping your office space clean, your apartment tidy, your life in order. Dig into feminine hobbies or hobbies in general. Learn to cook, learn to do those typically feminine things, and embrace the feminine quality of creation by creating art, creating beauty, creating space for people, creating warmth in an environment. I'm not saying that just because you put on a dress in the morning and you cleaned your apartment, a masculine man is going to sprout out of your living room floor ready to marry you. But what I am saying is, as you hone in on these qualities over a long period of time, it will seep out into your community and it will seep out into the relationships around you, and you'll become known for your femininity, and the masculine men will be able to see that reputation you have. They'll be able to sense it when they're talking to you, and you'll even be able to signal that during your first encounter or impression with a man. This can be done very simply by being kind to others, being friendly when they're trying to share jokes, being warm and welcoming, opening the doors for others, and just in general, applying the feminine concepts that I talk about in my other videos. So let's dive into the second part, which is all about beauty. Beauty is a way for us to showcase our health and vitality to the opposite sex. That's not the only purpose of beauty, but it is one purpose. Not encouraging crazy amounts of makeup or plastic surgery. That's completely unnecessary for attracting a masculine man. It's going to be very important for you to signal your beauty, but also who you are through your visuals, through how you look. Now, I don't think that a little cosmetics here and there is a problem, but it is important when you're looking to attract a man to be very upfront with both your beauty, but also who you actually are, what you actually look like. Instead of worrying about contouring down your nose to attract a man, just embrace your nose, embrace your natural unique features, because then you will attract a man who genuinely likes those features about you, okay? So what I'm trying to get at here is that instead of worrying about attracting everybody, allow your unique features of your beauty to kind of narrow down the field a little bit so that you can find a man who likes your special recipe of beauty, okay? I think it's so important for women to embrace what they actually look like to a certain degree, because then you will attract a man who's into that. There are men that like curly hair. There are men that like big noses, small noses, wide faces, thin lips, large lips, long necks, petite women. There is a man for everyone. Think about your specific combination of what you like in a man. It's probably kind of unique and special to you. The same goes for men. They do like beautiful women, but that doesn't mean you need to look like Kylie Jenner's twin. It just means that you need to enhance your natural beauty. So play up your eyes, play up your features a little bit, add some extra contrast to your face if you need be, put on some lip gloss, and allow your beauty to speak for itself. Of course, I do recommend that above all else, you focus on being healthy, as this is going to always be the most attractive trait to men. They are going to want someone healthy as much as you are going to want a healthy man in your life. This does not mean having six-pack abs for yourself, but it does mean being within a healthy weight for your body type. Focusing on getting enough beauty rest and sleep, making sure that you're not overly damaging your hair, and just in general, enhancing your beauty and what you have to work with. Don't fight what you actually look like. I've noticed that a lot of masculine men prefer women who are confident in the way they actually look. Masculine men know what they like in a woman, and they know their unique combination of whatever that is. So embrace what you actually look like, and embrace what sets you apart, you know, and learn to play up your beauty to the best of your ability. And you're focusing on attracting a masculine man, you're going to want to look feminine, but this doesn't mean you need to necessarily have long hair and wear skirts and dresses all the time. Watch my other videos about feminine beauty, feminine style, to get a clearer picture about what that looks like. But remember, it is going to look different than not putting any effort in and just letting yourself go completely. Even if you weren't focusing on finding a man right now, I would encourage all of you to put effort into your beauty, because you will feel more confident, you will feel so much happier, and you will feel more vibrant. All right, the third piece of attracting a masculine man is going to be living wholesomely. A lot of masculine men prefer their women to live a wholesome lifestyle. And if you're looking specifically for that traditional, potentially religious man, living wholesomely is going to be very important. Now, of course, I hope that you're doing this for yourself and you would live wholesomely no matter what, but wholesome living does play a part in attracting a wholesome man. Don't get discouraged when men are turned off by your boundaries or your traditional lifestyle or anything like that. It's actually a really good thing because then they can excuse themselves from the race and make room for men who are traditional, who do like your lifestyle, etc. Instead of spending your time drinking, partying, focus on getting involved more in community, in low-key events, volunteering, opportunities for you to plug into your community and bless others. Don't hide your interests. Be very upfront with who you are because again, just as with beauty, you're going to want to attract someone who is into whatever recipe you've got going on. Don't conform to be some sort of ideal woman. Instead, peel back the layers of yourself so that you can show, hey, this is what I'm all about, this is what I'm interested in, and this is what I hope for my life. As you live wholesomely, focus on avoiding debt as much as possible. Do not accrue tons of debt. Don't be irresponsible with your wallet. Avoid addictions. If you need mental health assistance, get counseling. Try to get in as much of a stable mental position as you can. Masculine men are not ones to want a ton of drama in their life. They're not going to want an overly dramatic woman bogging them down and preventing them from achieving all they could through their ambition. So as you partner with a masculine man, you're going to want to be helpful and contribute to his life. And you can't do that if you're addicted to hard drugs or if you're always the one that starts a ton of drama or if you have a history of cheating or crazy unstable behavior. Don't worry though, my lovely, beautiful sister, you can get help. Get counseling, read self-help books. If you are a Christian, you know what to do. Plug in with your Christian community, focus on scripture, get psychological help. If you had a difficult childhood or if you have quote unquote daddy issues, you're not alone. So many women grew up not understanding how to connect with the opposite sex because they had a negative experience with their father. I really encourage you to get counseling, watch YouTube videos about how to mentally deal with that, and notice when you have a pattern of choosing unwholesome, unstable men. Take note when you're the unwholesome, unstable problem. Take note when you're the one creating problems in your relationships and when you're the one who's causing the issues. Do not fret, do not worry, you can get help and you can change. Get counseling and make sure that you can have an opportunity in life to have a real talk with yourself so that you can change your habits and hopefully in the future enter into a stable relationship. Begin focusing in on yourself and what you need to snip away or work on in order to be stable for an eventual relationship. No one's going to be perfect when they enter into a relationship, but I do think it's worth it during your season of singleness to really put some work in on yourself and prep for having a relationship because as we all know and the divorce rate proves, relationships are difficult, and if you're not prepped properly, it will be even more difficult. The fourth way to attract a masculine man is to show a warm and friendly spirit. Now, you can do this with any personality type. If you're shy, if you're rambunctious, if you're cutesy, if you're more serious, you can still show your version of a warm and friendly spirit. Just be yourself, but a warm, friendly version of yourself, okay? So you don't need to go all over the top, giggling and touching him on the shoulder if that's not who you are. If you're shy, this could just be sending over a nice smile or catching his eye or whatever. Offer him a pen, offer him a little bit of help. Say hello if you're passing him in the hallway. Show that you're friendly. Show him that he won't get turned down if he comes over to chat with you, basically. You don't need to be crazy flirty with everybody, but a kind word placed here and there, a nice little question, or even just catching his eye goes a long way. If he's attracted to you, he will notice. I guarantee it. The way I did this when I, started noticing my husband on our study abroad trip was to just, suddenly we're standing beside each other in line for dinner. Wonder how that happened. Just place yourself in the vicinity, but not in an overly annoying way, but there's nothing wrong with placing yourself in the vicinity of wonderful masculine men that you could have a potential future with. So place yourself in the vicinity, show that you are friendly, smile, be gentle. Don't try to overly control the conversation or make everything about you, but do allow him to see that you are nice. For example, even if you see see the same guy at the coffee shop every few weeks and you're interested in talking to him, you know, you could smile at him. You could ask him if he knows the coffee shop Wi-Fi password and just be friendly. I don't know. I feel like when women are interested, they will find a way. But if you are a shy woman, do not despair. A nice, friendly smile goes a long way. We all know how to get the attention of a man at the end of the day. You know, you remove your clothing. So you don't need to do that. You don't need to be overly sexy. You don't need to, you know, sip water in a sexy way at the gym. You just need to show that you're friendly. That's really all they're looking for at the end of the day. Our fifth point, and this one is practical as well. This is how to foster a connection with a masculine man. So once you kind of catch his eye and smile and show up waiting in line next to him by some coincidence, you're going to want to foster a connection. So the way that you do this is by asking him questions about his life and trying to get to know him in a non-intrusive way. One of the best ways to get a man to kind of curious about you is for him to feel very positive after a conversation with you, but to also feel like he still wants to get to know you. So when you're talking with a man, don't be overly revealing about your life. Retain a little bit of mystery. But at the same time, gather information about him. Ask him about where he grew up, his childhood. Get him to tell you a story or something from when he was in high school. If you get him to share about himself to you, he will feel happy. People like sharing about themselves. But then if he realizes that he doesn't know a lot about you, he's going to want to have another conversation in the future. Also, show that where you have connections. If you've kind of narrowed in on a person and you know you have stuff in common, or you're interested to see what you have in common, try to ask him questions relating to things you have experience with. So if you played sports in high school and you're curious if he did, you know, ask him about that. And when he says, oh yes, I played soccer, you can say, oh, me too. And then he'll be like, oh, we have something in common. And that's kind of the goal. You're going to want to show each other what you have in common because that's attractive. Also, if you are both traditional, you can talk about those kind of things. If you're both religious, you can relate and be compatible about that. If you are very different though, if he's very masculine, you are very feminine, you can kind of play off your differences as well. Connections though can happen in more subtle ways as well. Merely catching someone's eye or noticing that they're looking at you is sometimes a signal that someone's attracted to you. So if you're at a networking event, for example, and you see this guy always like looking at you and you find yourself looking at him, you're fostering a connection because there's clearly some sort of thing attracting you to that person. Your next step would be then to smile, and then maybe he'll come over and you can chat. It's not difficult. It's just about taking little baby steps to get to know someone more and more. Another really awesome pro tip is to somehow create a joke together when you first have interactions. So say you're chatting with him and something silly happens and you both witness it. That could be a joke that you could bring up in the future. Masculine men don't want a woman around them who's constantly nagging them and being rude or, you know, overly competitive. You know, there's competitive in a cute kind of teasing way, and then there's annoying competitive when someone's just trying to one-up you all the time. So when you're dealing with a masculine man, focus on being his complement. And when you're building that connection, showcase your femininity a little bit. You know, as you're telling stories about yourself, mention offhandedly, so casually, like, oh yeah, I love cooking. Of course, there are more egalitarian relationships out there, all the power to you people, but this is about traditional relationships. So when you are connecting with that traditional masculine man, you're going to want to show your traditional feminine qualities, and that will spark his interest. So that is all I have for you today. This is going on way too long. I apologize. I just love talking about this topic. So if you have any stories about attracting a masculine man, maybe how you attracted your lovely hubby, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I love hearing romance stories. If you are interested though in more of this content, please check out some of my older videos and my written blog. Follow me on Instagram. And don't forget that I do have some affiliate links listed below for products I love as well as merchandise. But in total, I hope you have a wonderfully romantic and feminine week on the hunt for your masculine men, my beautiful sisters.